Let's see what else we got. Let's do some sovereign citizen stuff, shall we? So we got this sovereign citizen playlist. We got this guy. This is that guy that did the weird... We spent like a whole sovereign citizen stream watching his response to a police training video once. So we might watch something else from this guy. We got some Karen freakouts for some variety. It'll be a good stream. Cascadian93 with a bit. Sume's example is so anti of mine. I grew up in a very bleached but slightly lower middle class neighborhood. It shows another whole form of lack of knowledge of what people of color go through. But I grew up thinking people of color were the coolest. I wanted to be a person of color. I was jealous that I wasn't. It wasn't until I was 6th grade-ish that I learned more and more.
There's nothing funny about the
Daddy
tools
Sume
of
with a bunch of
capitalism.
traveling emotes. I didn't see him come up on screen. Is the emote cloud working? Huh. MMO addicted. You are subdued and in a bad mood, but that doesn't make you a dick. You can have bad mental health days. Well, thank you. Let me do some of these to see if the... Okay, yeah, it is working. Cool. I just didn't see him the first time. Anyway, let's do some sovereign citizen stuff. Snake of Truth. Thank you for following. Let's do this one.
I don't. I just bought the car, actually.
Okay, you can't be driving on a road without insurance or license or registration.
Okay, so we got another person who's driving around or probably traveling, and they're doing so without a license or insurance, which is illegal.
That's not.
That's state law. So you can record me all you want.
Mm-hmm.
You need a license.
Okay.
So if you're just so sovereign citizen.
I don't need a license to travel, sir.
Oh, he said it. That was wow. We're not even 30 seconds in, and we got it traveling.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. The state of Illinois requires you to have a license anytime you operate a motor vehicle. It's in state law. You can look it up yourself.
This is my private property I'm operating.
Yes. It's
I'm traveling in.
Yes, but you're using a public road.
This is not no, they did not make the roads for the public.
What? Yes. What do you think public roads are? Public roads are roads made by either the local or state government, depending on the road, or if it's like an interstate highway or a freeway or whatever, then the federal government gets involved. But, like, public roads are for the public. However, the state that creates those roads allows you to use them with the understanding that you are going to follow the laws that they place upon those roads. That includes things like speed limits. Some places require you to get your car checked out every few years to make sure that it's, like, safe to be on the road. Driver's license, insurance, registration. These are all things that the government can say, hey, these roads are for the public, but you need to meet these certain standards in order to operate a vehicle on these roads. And that's perfectly fine.
I also have ownership of this vehicle.
Yes, Scott, can we get a supervisor to our traffic stop?
They're calling in a supervisor.
Right, look, I'm explaining to you what the law is. This is your private property. Yes, it is your vehicle, right? Okay.
And it also don't have to be.
That, all right?
It don't have to be registered to the state.
Do you own this roadway?
Who
Who owns the roadway? Answer my question.
Don't the state do not own the roadway.
Yes, they do. What?
The state
It was the hop
because they maintain it as well. You know this especially well if you're in Michigan, and you know they get fixed pretty regularly. I mean, it depends upon the road. I don't mean every road gets fixed regularly, but I mean road maintenance is going on all the time. Who do you think pays for road maintenance? The state does through the taxes collected from the public.
The public highways was it was built for public and commerce.
And who built them? Who do you think everyone in the community just got out one day and was like, all right, fellas and ladies, it's time to pave some road. And everyone, almost like an Amish barn raising, got out and built the public roads in one day. No, they were built and maintained by the government on behalf of the citizens.
For the public and commerce.
Public and commerce?
You wish they did better road maintenance in New England? It's not great in Michigan either. My road has needed to be repaved for a while, but it hasn't been. But, like, I'm a side street, so I'm very low priority in terms of road maintenance.
Yes.
So what are you doing?
I'm using it as for the public.
The public?
Yes,
Okay, so you're on a public. We agree you're on a public roadway then.
it's public. It's
Okay.
it's for the public and
Nothing funny about
for
the
the
tools of
you know what I'm saying,
capitalism.
for people that's on
Pittsburgh, city of potholes.
in commerce.
Okay. All right. So we're in agreement that this is your private property, your vehicle, but you're on a public roadway, correct?
This is not a vehicle. This is my private property.
This is not a glass of water. This is my private property. I'm not drinking. I'm letting the fluid travel down my esophagus.
A vehicle. Listen,
Explain to me
There's
your
nothing funny
definition of a
about
vehicle.
the tools of
a
capitalism.
vehicle is one who get.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Man, you folks really need to come to Eastern Europe or like Ukraine to see what really bad roads look like. No, I don't think I will. I believe you.
There's nothing funny about the tools
The
of
closer I get
capitalism.
to Eastern Europe, the higher chance that I'll run into Tate, and I'd really rather not do that. Not That Fragile says, I can't even tell you how many Karens have been complaining lately that the state is
There's
using
nothing
public
funny about
funds
the
to
tools of
repave the roads and
capitalism.
freeway in my town. The roads are literally covered in potholes, and Karens are still upset that they're getting taxed for repairs. Do they not use the roads? Cotton Candy 903, what does he think a car is? What you gotta understand about sovereign citizens is when they say, this is not a car or this is not a motor vehicle, this is my private property, or when they say something to that effect, they're not, they're not stupid. They're not that stupid. They know that what they're driving is colloquially known as a
There's
car.
nothing funny about
It's
the
just
tools of
that they
capitalism.
believe that if they don't call it that, then legally it won't be considered as such. They're wrong, of course, and that in and of itself is incredibly stupid. But it's not like they literally don't think they're driving a car. They just think that the law is a series of magic words that you use, and if you use the correct series of words, you can get away with breaking the law. Like, that's
There's
the
nothing funny about the
linchpin
tools
of a
of
lot of their
capitalism.
philosophy. It's wrong, but it makes more sense once you understand where they're coming from. Cascadia 93 is someone who's from Montana. I laugh at you all. I've never seen a road, only snow-covered
There's
pavement
nothing
and
funny about the
gravel.
tools of capitalism.
Hannah, look at this is Pittsburgh potholes, and then freaking out 99 Schrodinger's car. Sinkhole bus returns to service, but road remains closed. Well, that's a sinkhole. That's a different thing. Sinkholes aren't potholes. They're a completely different thing.
If you get compensated, there's no one in here with me.
Compensated?
Yes,
What do you
some
mean
type of
compensated?
fair, some type of in the Black Laws Dictionary.
Black Laws Dictionary?
Yes,
Okay.
the Black Laws Dictionary.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
A
capitalism.
vehicle is basically one who gets hired.
I know.
No, it's not. He's referencing Black's Laws Dictionary, I think second or third edition. It's from 1930s. Of course, there have been many editions since then. I think they're on either the 9th or the 11th edition. I don't remember. Anyway, first of all, a legal dictionary is not the law, right? Like, if you're in court and you're trying to argue something, you don't cite Black's Law Dictionary. You can use Black's Law Dictionary in your research if you want a greater understanding of a certain law or what certain verbiage might mean. But you wouldn't say to the judge, well, Black's Law Dictionary defines such and such as, because that's not how law works. Black's Law Dictionary is supposed to be descriptive, not like prescriptive, right? Secondly, Black's Law Dictionary, the edition that gets cited by these people constantly, what it says is one being employed in operating a motor vehicle. They believe that the term employed in this context means you have been hired to do a job with the vehicle, when that's not what it means. You can be employed in anything. I am employed in doing a stream right now, but that's not because I'm being paid for it. It's because employed can mean doing something, in the process of doing something. That's what employed means in the context of the Black's Law Dictionary edition that they're referencing. So it's a complete misreading of not even a law, but a definition in an outdated law dictionary that they're misinterpreting in the first place. It's absolutely bizarre.
I just want to know.
Oh, I ain't got no guns. I ain't got no
We're not saying
drugs.
you are, but you do have to provide a driver's license to operate a
I
motor
don't.
vehicle.
I don't have to give you a driver's license if I haven't committed a crime.
That's not true. That's not true. Most states, I actually don't know. Let's see what the stop and identify states are. Stop and identify. I'm pretty sure in all states, if you're in a traffic stop, then you have to provide your license. In terms of not being in a vehicle, I'm not sure where stop and identify is and is not legal. Stop and identify states. So the red states are stop and identify. In these states, which looks to be just estimating about half of the states in the country or so, maybe a little under, maybe a little over, I don't know, I'm not going to sit and count them. In those states, if a cop sees you and they go, hey, I need to see your ID, you have to provide it for them. Otherwise, I think they need, like, justifiable cause or something. I don't know the exact standard. But, like, in a traffic stop, pretty much always you have to provide your license. I think always in the United States.
You said I'm committing a crime by traveling without a license. Am I correct?
Or at the very least, sometimes people, for instance, in a traffic stop forget their driver's license or something legitimately, not like in a fake, oh, I forgot it, but I really don't have it way. A lot of the time, they can also look up your license on their computer, though you're really supposed to have your ID on you when you're driving anyway, but...
It's not a crime. I'm saying that anytime you operate a motor vehicle...
Probable cause. That's the word I was thinking of. Sorry. I said justifiable cause. Probable cause.
You just said that I have to, for me to travel on this road, public road.
Operating a motor vehicle, yes, you have to have a valid
I'm
driver's
traveling.
license
I'm
because it's a
traveling.
privilege,
It doesn't
not
require
right.
a license.
Yes, it does. If you're traveling in a vehicle on a public road, yeah, you need a license.
Okay.
It doesn't require a license.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Let me tell you something.
Okay. That's your opinion.
No, it's not.
The cop at this point is just like, I'm just waiting for the supervisor to get here.
There's nothing funny
I don't want to
about the
deal
tools
with
of
this.
capitalism.
Cascadia 93, the bit that always gets me about sovereign citizens is that in almost all of these videos, they're doing the recording, like they're the ones doing the own, yeah. They think they're right. It's the most misplaced confidence I've ever seen, and I love that. That's why if you ever watch this channel, and you wonder what's the common thread between all of the things that I cover, and I'll tell you what it is. It's either narcissism or an unwavering belief that you are right, despite the fact that you are incredibly wrong and making a jackass of yourself. That's why I do Karens, that's why I do sovereign citizens, it's why I do some cringe stuff, because that falls under a lot of cringe type stuff, is people being overly confident and doing something very silly. The same thing applies to a lot of people on the right that I cover on Chud Watch, when we're talking about Jeremy or whoever. They all come from a position of believing that their view of the world is inerrant and completely correct. And they are so confident in these positions that they will make a fool of themselves on camera trying to espouse this position. I am obsessed with people with that level of self-confidence. Maybe because in my life I've never really had that and I'm constantly second-guessing myself. But like, something about that worldview that I am not only correct, but I am so correct, I am going to put this on camera. It's just weird to me, and it's fascinating. Daddy Sume, God, I want to be a cop just to own sovereign citizens. I just want to explain to them in every way that they're wrong. You might want to be a lawyer if you want to do that instead of a cop. It's solipsism with extra steps. I don't know. I think that's over. Solipsism is very specifically believing that you're the only, like, living being in the universe and everyone else is a fantasy of your mind. But, you know, entitlement, false entitlement. Yeah, that'd be a good way to describe it too.
Not an opinion. I'm stating I'm stating facts.
Okay.
That can be proven.
That's fine.
That can be proven.
Okay.
Officer, what's that? What can I get your badge number?
Yeah, Officer Banuelos is right there.
Bangos and
Star number's right there.
I got it.
Notanen, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
You are being audio and video
Okay.
recorded too.
It's the same supreme confidence uber Christians have. Yeah, and that's why we cover creationism sometimes on here too, or flat earth, or whatever, conspiracy things. I forgot to mention the conspiracy stuff. Falls under the same umbrella of, like, confidently incorrect. And yes, I understand the irony of me being a Twitch streamer who, you know, runs my mouth for a living. I understand that I'm in many ways doing the same thing, but I'd like to think I have enough, you know, self-awareness to recognize that I can be wrong and that I will correct myself when corrected, and I will apologize for that. Whereas a lot of these people don't seem to feel that way. And I also don't feel like I'm ever a supreme authority on anything. I never claim that I know everything, even when I'm talking about this stuff. I talk about what my understanding of the law is in regard to this stuff, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not anyone who's ever studied the law. I'm just repeating what I've heard smarter people than I say. I'm repeating what I've heard lawyers say in regard to this stuff, because there's a lot of material out there. Not a ton, but enough material out there of lawyers going over sovereign citizen stuff and basically explaining why it's all BS. So, I don't know. I don't know. Just weird. These guys are just weird.
Officer Taylor.
It's almost always dudes, too. What's up with that? You don't see a ton of female sovereign citizens. They do exist. I've seen a couple videos of them, but they're not super common.
17121. Can I get your badge number, officer? Officer Owens. What's your badge number, Owens? Oh, he don't want to give me his badge number. But like I said, see, I ain't finna start it up. I'm finna just raise the window down, sir, because
Okay.
I see that you are very, very professional with it. So
Yeah, I try to be professional. Try to give people, be courteous.
I
with them.
understand. But the state of Illinois, Chicago, state of Illinois converted my right to a privilege. But Murdoch versus Pennsylvania says no state shall convert a secure liberty into a privilege. And if they do, Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, Alabama says that I can ignore the license engaged from the right to impunity.
Okay.
That means they can't punish me.
So what he's citing here is a case, at least the first case that he cites, is a case that says you cannot convert a right into a privilege. I'm not sure the specifics of the case, but what he's saying here is he believes that it is his right to drive a vehicle on public roads. It's not. And he's saying that that's been converted into a privilege by the fact that he is required to have licensing and insurance and all the stuff that you need to operate a vehicle on the roads publicly, legally. So he has already inferred that driving on a public road is a right. It is not. Like, his very first postulate is wrong at the forefront. You do not have a right to travel on public roads with a motor vehicle. That is a privilege. Now, you have the right to travel in the sense that, like, you can't be stopped from moving from one place to another within the 50 states of the United States and its territories. But that doesn't mean that you have the right in the manner in which you travel. You just still can't go on public roads if you don't have a license. That's not a right. And it's not even like in the amendments to the Constitution, you have a right to travel. That was a thing in the Articles of Confederation, which is why sometimes these people will cite the Articles of Confederation, even though that hasn't been valid since like 1789 when the Constitution got ratified. But yeah, you do, I think, under the law, basically have the right to go from place to place within the United States, provided you aren't trespassing on anyone's property. But that's talking about, like, if you're walking, right? If you're walking or using a bike legally, stuff like that. But if you want to travel on public roads, that's a different thing. That's not just traveling. That's traveling on public roads in a motor vehicle. And the government, it has been found many times, has the right. This was more like case law that got settled in like the 30s and 40s and stuff, because of course mass transit in terms of like mass automobile usage was becoming a big thing, and that's when states and counties, before states took care of driver's licenses, it was some counties did it individually, until later, of course, the states just said, okay, we'll do state licensing. In that period, there were some case law that was made about this kind of thing. There's one that they cite a lot where a particular county had someone issuing driver's licenses. It was the sheriff or something like that who was issuing driver's licenses to citizens of the county. Oh, Batty Bell, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Just dropping in and wanted to say hi. Love you, Hannah, and love you, chat. Thank you, Batty Bell, for the 1,000 bits. Appreciate it. So the sheriff was issuing driver's licenses to people in the community. However, he wasn't issuing some sort of test to determine if you should get a driver's license. He was saying, oh, I like you, or I think you're responsible because I know you personally, because it was a town that was relatively small, and he could know the people within it. So he would give it to people that he knew and he thought were responsible, and he wouldn't give it to people that he didn't think were responsible. Now, in this specific case, the court found you cannot do that. However, they said, you cannot arbitrarily restrict people from getting licenses in that way because it was arbitrary and up to the determination of an individual. But they did say, hey, however, they can provide a test that anyone can take, and then once they do so, they can be licensed. It just has to be a set of standards that are the same for everyone. And that's basically where things have come out in terms of driver's licenses. As long as you pass the test, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're white or black, or you know the sheriff or you don't, you can get a license if you pass the test. And that is completely legal. But they often cite that case and be like, it's illegal to
There's nothing funny about the
It's
tools
funny
of
too. Sometimes
capitalism.
they'll be like, you're arbitrarily disallowing me from using the roads. No, that's not arbitrary. In fact, the opposite. The case law you're citing is saying they can determine with a test, and you're saying that the test itself is arbitrary, which it isn't. Anyway, Cascadia 93 with a bit. It makes me laugh when people use a book that was written 20 years before they built the interstate system. You know.
Okay. Well, you seem to be very knowledgeable.
I'm very knowledgeable of the law.
Well, let's start off. What's your name?
Anyone who says that and isn't a lawyer, don't trust them inherently. I don't know dick about the law. Don't trust me. Like, ask a lawyer if you have any legal questions. I'm just trying to be an entertaining person on the internet.
I would not give you my name
Why not?
because I haven't committed a crime.
Well, how do you want me to address you?
You can address me as private person.
Private person?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
because I do not owe my existence to the
Private
state.
person?
You don't?
I do not.
Okay.
You wouldn't salute a private, I guess, but my joke stands.
That is my fort. That's the
There's nothing funny about the
what?
tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 5 bits. Oh god, that's very knowledgeable. Sounded like a child stomping and going, I'm a big boy. Yeah, same energy.
The 14th Amendment, my 14th Amendment.
Your 14th Amendment? Okay. Well, like I said, you seem to be very knowledgeable. We have a supervisor on scene. You
Okay.
can explain all this to him.
Okay.
All right.
I'm telling them I'm traveling.
Okay.
I just bought the vehicle. I just bought the car.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Sue
Cop
S.
just sounded
the
like he's
officer
trying to
name
get
is
through this.
S-U
Oh, yeah.
LLIVAN.
I'm sure the cop is just trying to
17811.
bide time until the supervisor gets there.
Another officer name
Cretan
is
Supreme, thank you for
A-
following.
Like capitalistic propaganda.
LMAZAN. His start number is, I can't see it. Can I get the other officer's start number
Yeah, everything will be given to you. All right. Appropriately.
appropriately, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry. We have a supervisor on scene that you could explain your reasons why you don't want to provide a driver's license.
I don't have a driver's license because I don't need
Guess he's not going to plead the fifth on that. Sometimes they do, but it's bold to just admit a crime to a cop's face. Just be like, actually, sir, I'll have you know I do not have a driver's license, said behind the seat of an automobile.
one. And I'm not finna register my car with the state.
Okay.
I'm finna register it into my private. I'm finna register, not register it, but I'm finna put it in my yeah, y'all got all these officers coming as if though like I committed a crime or something. Like I don't get it.
I'm not saying you committed a crime, but It is against
It's not.
state law
it's-
to operate a motor vehicle without a valid
This is not a.
driver's license.
I understand what you're saying.
point,
This is
I
not
don't
a
know.
motor vehicle.
Okay.
A motor vehicle
There's
in the
nothing
Black
funny
Law
about the tools
Dictionary
of
is
capitalism.
described a vehicle for hire. This is not.
It is not a vehicle for hire. He's completely misrepresenting what it says. Actually, Your Honor, I did burn down the orphanage. Funny.
There's nothing
He's
funny
shoving
about
his
the
foot
tools
so
of
far into his
capitalism.
mouth he can kiss his own butt. True. It does not say that an automobile or a car is a vehicle for hire. It says driving is the process of being I can even find it. Hold on. Black's Law Dictionary. Driver. Black's Law Dictionary. What is a driver? One employed in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle with horses, mules, or other animals, or a bicycle, tricycle, motor car, though not a street, railroad car. See Davis versus Petrovich. And then there's the place that you can basically find the law. One employed in conducting. Employed in conducting literally just means you are operating it. And of course it applies to carriage, wagons, and stuff because this was in the 30s. Yeah. This is the definition that they're drawing from. I believe this is from... Does it even have the exact date? No. This is, I think, from the 1930s edition of Black's Law. Black's Law Dictionary. I gotta get me a copy of modern Black's Law Dictionary just so I can dunk on these people, because the modern dictionary definition in Black's Law is not even the same as this. I think that comes from the 3rd edition, which was published in 33, and we're currently on the 11th edition. And I do know that the current Black's Law Dictionary definition of driver is not this. It doesn't use the verbiage employed. Possibly specifically because a bunch of dumb sovereign citizens took this definition and completely misunderstood it. Reading comprehension is hard, I guess. But anyway, one employed in conducting a coach, carriage, blah, 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 or motor car. Employed in conducting. You're driving it because you're operating the vehicle.
This is not a non-commercial vehicle.
Okay, well, I'm explaining to you what the state of Illinois says.
I understand what you're saying, far as how that goes, but this is not what we have here.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to tell you, officer.
Sure.
It's
right there.
I'm saying how you pronounce it.
Benuelos.
Benuelos.
Yes.
Benuelos. Officer name is RASKE 1118. Okay. 6.
Can you
Oh, what'd he say?
can you roll down that window for my partner over there?
Oh, y'all, I'm letting you know right now, for the record, there is no guns up in here,
Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Follow verbal commands right now.
sir. So,
Keep your hands on the steering wheel. For our safety and your safety, keep your hands visible
sir,
at all times.
sir. Okay. Can you tell me this? Why did you stop me?
You have no plates on your car.
The cop even sounded surprised that he was asking that question. Why did you stop me? You have no plates on your car. Yeah, that'd do it. I wonder if he has one of the... Have you guys seen this stuff? It's crazy. Sit license plate. There are people who will sell sovereign citizens these license plates that are like, private, no driver license or insurance required, not for commerce, use, private mode of travel. Literally, like, they'll sell them this crap. For like, I don't even know how much they sell them for. Too much. Either way, it's basically a signal to the cops. Hey, please come and pull me over, you know? I definitely don't have insurance or a license. The only way this is gonna get a cop to not pull you over is if they're like, I don't want to deal with this paperwork today. That's the only situation in which that license plate is going to get you away from not having a license.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
MMO
capitalism.
addicted with 5 bits. Why did you stop me? Sir, you're dancing naked, covered in blood, and singing that your name is Princess Stabbity Stab Stab. Oh.
I don't have to have plates on my car
Yes, you do.
by constitutional rights.
Okay.
I'm
No.
exercising a
There's no constitutional amendment to not have license plates on your car. I think everyone knows that, right? It's not like the 57th Amendment. I have the right to not have license plates on my car. There's no judicial precedent that would take any of the amendments or rights as they're currently
There's nothing
understood
funny
in the
about the tools of
Constitution
capitalism.
and apply them in that way. Like, even if he's trying to say, like, unreasonable search and seizure, I have a right to my private property. Okay, you have a right to own your car, but if the government says under law that you have to register it with the state to operate it publicly on public roads, then you need to do that. Like, there's absolutely no precedent that says that that's not the case. MMO addicted with a bit. That may have been an actual RP story. Oh god. the Princess Stabby thing.
There's nothing funny about the
MMO
tools of
addicted, thank you
capitalism.
for gifting a sub to Freaking Out 99.
constitutional right. I don't have no guns. If you want to see, you can look in here. I don't have no knife. I don't have no. Only thing I have is a lighter.
Okay.
And probably one loose cigarette.
Okay.
Okay, that's the only thing. So I'm letting you officers know you don't have to be hostile. I'm a very respectable man, and I'm not basically trying to, I'm not trying to harm nobody. See, he knocking on the what's you the supervisor? Hey, how you doing, sir?
Sergeant Grip, how you doing?
How you doing, Sergeant Grip?
So what's going on here?
Okay, the officer stopped me,
This guy is like, oh god, they're calling me out for this crap.
and he said that I needed a driver's license.
Yes.
I said, I know I do not need a driver's license to travel. I'm traveling. I'm just traveling to the store.
Okay. Sir,
I
you're
understand.
operating a vehicle in the state of Illinois and you need a driver's
This is my
Nothing funny about
okay,
the tools
sir.
of
This is my
capitalism.
personal property.
MMO addicted with 4 bits. I'm very respectable, man. The most respectable does Trump hands. Oh, let me do it. I'm very... No, I can't even do the Trump voice right now.
Okay,
understand.
and this is not a motor vehicle. In the Black Laws, I told them in the Black Laws Dictionary, motor vehicle is a vehicle that get paid. I mean, that you accept some type of fare of a fee. I already been through this case with 111th and Montgomery, sir.
All right,
And
let
I
me hold
beat-
you right there. This is the state of Illinois. We operate under the state of Illinois laws. You operating this vehicle means that you need to operate, by our point of view, under the state of Illinois laws. Which
God, I wish they understood what they were citing so they could, like, refute it correctly. All they would need to explain is, like, no, what that says is this, the being employed in operating a motor vehicle, and say that's not what employed means in that context. But instead, because he's saying we operate under Illinois law, what this does, when it goes into sovereign citizen brain, goes, they're denying me my constitutional rights and operating under state law instead of federal law. And I understand that it's not necessarily other people's jobs to dance around the weird BS mentality of these people, but it certainly entrenches them deeper in their beliefs. This guy is not going to walk away from this encounter thinking he was in the wrong, even though he obviously was.
means you need to provide a driver's license if you have one. Do you have a driver's license?
No, I do not, sir.
Okay, then it's a matter of you're going to have to come with us. You'll be issued some tickets. You'll have your day in court, and then you'll be free to go.
Okay.
The whole process is going to take about 20 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'm letting you know. I'm finna let you know this now.
Yeah,
I'm finna beat this case.
Okay,
I'm gonna beat the case.
right.
And then it is
I
what it is.
understand you don't agree with our laws,
No.
Which you are
It
entitled
ain't.
to?
It ain't the point that I don't agree with the law.
Okay.
I know the law.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, this is not the law.
Okay.
Okay.
It is.
All right. However, we are
There's
operating
nothing
under
funny
our
about the
perception of
tools
our
of
laws.
capitalism.
So, in the meantime, you need to step out. You're going to come with us. We're going to issue you tickets, and you'll be free.
They
to
should
go.
give cops and judges
Fair
lessons on how to deal with
guess that's-
sovereign
Have any weapons, sir?
citizens.
No.
Maybe. I honestly don't know how often this happens, though. I think I saw an estimate. There was a police training video we watched about sovereign citizens a while back that estimated there's somewhere between 1 and 200,000 sovereign citizens in the country, in the U.S., which seems like a lot. I mean, the population's like 300 million or something like that. Let me look. U.S. population, 2020. 331 million people. So in the grand scheme of things, 200,000 isn't a ton, but the fact that there's potentially that many people who believe this BS, it's kind of crazy. So I do wonder how often cops are interacting with them. Because, like, it's going to be a higher percentage than just out of the general population because they're going to be more likely to break laws in the first place. Laws like this, where they're not having a license plate, not driving with a license, or whatever, what have you. So they're probably dealing with them at a higher instance than they are in terms of the general population because they're going to be more likely to break the law in the first place. But I do wonder, like, is your average cop or judge dealing with one every month? Once a year? Once every 5 years? Or is this like a thing that they're dealing with weekly? Odd, the number of sovereign citizens is the same as COVID deaths. Yeah, that's sad to think about. COVID deaths, U.S. 202,000. USA. Anyway.
No, I do
Are
not,
you a
sir.
carry concealed permit holder in the state of Illinois?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I will be in a minute, but I.
Okay. I appreciate your cooperation.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, let me take this.
And I guess he got arrested. So I do wonder if when we get to the end of these videos, I wonder how many of these sovereign citizens ever learn their lesson in the long term. Do they ever realize, hey, I was wrong,
There's
or
nothing funny about
do
the
they
tools
just stick
of
to this for the
capitalism.
rest of their lives? I don't know.